Fighter is a class built for every situation and it can deal high damage. It can unleash a variety of photon orbs that will surely dispose of enemies, and it wields counterattacks that's second to none. Welcome to my guide for the Fighter class. What's going on, Saviors? GH here. We're gonna go straight to the point, so let's do this. Let's start with the fighter main skills. First off is Overload. This increases your damage but also increases the damage you take. And there's a subskill for this called Overload Endurance. It basically stops a killing attack from finishing you off. It will leave 1 HP instead of killing you. This only happens while Overload is active. Next main skill is Defeat Advantage. It increases the damage taken of downed enemies. Then next is Defeat PP Recovery. It increases PP recovery when attacking downed enemies. Then what we have next is Fighter Skip ARKS. This allows you to use only the finishing move part of your photon arts. For example, this photon art, 1000 blows. Normally it would do this multiple punch attack, then do an uppercut finisher. And if you get Fighter Skip Arts, it wouldn't do the multiple punch attack and instead just do an uppercut. And you can do this by not pressing any directional button when using photon arts. Next main skill is same art Skip Attack Fighter, and what it does is when you use two similar photon arcs with the same weapon, your next normal attack would start at the third combo. Then last main skill is another arts Skill Attack Fighter, and this one when you use two different photon arcs with the same weapon, your next normal attack would start at the fourth combo. This same art and another art skill is great for dishing out quick DPS. Those are the main skills. Now let's start with the fighter weapons. Knuckles, double sabers, and twin daggers. Now Knuckle is a weapon for countering because you deal insane amount of damage when you do a counter combo. And you can achieve that by getting fighter knuckle skills called Knuckle Attack Extra, Knuckle Attack Switch, Knuckle Sway Counter, and Knuckle Sway Counter Plus. And before I start explaining those, let me just show you how to parry an attack. And you can do that by using weapon action. This one, all weapons have them. And for Knuckles, double sabers, and twin daggers, it's a parry. Here is an example. Remember this because this is what makes a fighter strong. Now let's resume. Now Knuckle Sway Counter, what it does is automatically counter attack after a parry. Here is a preview. As you see there, after I parried, it did a counter attack. Now, Knuckle Sway Counter Plus allows you to do another counter attack by pressing another parry or the weapon action. Here is a preview. After I parried, it did a counter attack, and then I pressed the weapon action again and it did a secondary counter attack. And keep in mind, while you're doing this, you're immune to damage. Yup, while doing those two counter attacks, so that's very important. What we have next is Knuckle Attack Extra. It basically gives you one extra attack on your normal attack. Here is a preview of the normal attack with an extra final attack. As you see there, that final slam is what you get. And you need to have this because it's the prerequisite for the Knuckle Attack Switch. And what Knuckle Attack Switch does is give you the ability to cast the final attack slam of your normal attack after a successful parry. Here is a preview of Knuckle Attack Switch. As you see there, I parried the enemy's attack and I was able to use the final slam attack. And again, I'm just reminding you that you're immune to damage while doing the counters. Let me just show you again. As you see there, that is the full counter combo. Now let's discuss Knuckle Photon Arts. It has 4 Photon Arts. First is Weapon Action. It's your parry. Second Photon Art is Swift Rush. It starts out with 2 strikes, left to right, then finish up with a straight punch that unleashes a powerful blow. Third Photon Art is 1000 Blows. It starts out with multiple punches, then its second stage is an uppercut. This is what I usually use because its first stage can cover a wide area. Last Photon Art for Knuckles is Double Drive. It starts out with a dash, then finish off with 2 strikes. For single target enemies, I usually use Swift Rush's second stage, then Double Drive's second stage, followed by normal attacks, rinse and repeat. Overall, Knuckle is the most easiest to use because its normal attack deals a substantial amount of damage, and it's also the most rewarding if you master countering. Next weapon is Twin Daggers. In terms of damage, this is the lowest, but it's great for closing in the distance between you and the enemy because its counters and skills allows you to go near the enemy. Now, Twin Daggers has 3 specific skills for it: Dagger Extra Attack, Dagger Spin Counter, and Acceleration Drive. Dagger Attack Extra gives 1 more attack to your normal attack combo. Here is a preview. Next is Dagger Spin Counter. It allows you to use a counter attack after a successful parry by pressing a normal attack. Here it is. This is a great counter attack because it brings you closer to the enemy. Then what we have next is Acceleration Drive. This gives you the ability to dash towards the enemy at a certain point after a photon art. And that certain point is this purple blink. When you see it, just press a normal attack button and you will charge towards the enemy. This is great for closing the distance or attacking hard to reach targets. Now, Twin Daggers has 4 photon arts. First is Weapon Action, which is your parry. Second is Circling Blizzard. It starts out with a spin, followed by a flurry of attacks. Third is Celsius Coat. It starts out with a dash, followed by a range cross attack. Then fourth skill is Pirouette Ripper. This one starts out with a stab, followed by a barrage of strikes. This one is my favorite skill for daggers because you can move and it continually deals damage after the initial activation of its second stage, and you can spam it like crazy. Overall, Twin Dagger is a decent weapon for closing in the distance, and it's also great for aerial repositioning. For the last weapon, it's Double Saber. It's a short-range weapon with a variety of attacks. It's also the only weapon among the 3 with special attacks. Those special attacks are related to whirlwinds, which you can generate by using any Double Saber photon arts, or counter-attacking with a Double Saber. As you see there, the wind blade spiraling around your character is the whirlwind, and there's 2 stages of whirlwind. What you're currently seeing right now is the first stage, and when it turns purple like this, that's the second stage, and that means you can use a special attack, namely Spiral Drive and Deadly Archer. We're gonna talk about it in a bit. Now you ask, how can you go from first stage to second stage of whirlwind? Just keep using photon arts or counter attack or normal attack. Just make sure you already have the whirlwind if you wanna go from first stage to second stage using normal attacks. But it's recommended to just use photon arts to reach second stage. Now, Double Saber has 4 specific skills for it: Deadly Archer, Spiral Drive, Saber Parry Counter, and Saber Parry Another Counter. Let's start with Saber Parry Counter. It allows you to counter after a successful parry, straightforward. Then Saber Parry Counter allows you to use the weapon action again after a successful parry to unleash a special slash attack. Here is a preview. This is a good skill because doing this makes you immune to damage for longer. Next Double Saber skill is your special attack, Spiral Drive. This allows you to use a special area attack that consumes a second stage of whirlwind by holding the normal attack button. Here is a preview. Next special attack is Deadly Archer. This also needs a second stage of whirlwind and it also consumes it. And what it does is this. As you see there, it's a nice single target ability. And what's good about this attack is you're immune to damage while doing it. This is excellent for finishing off downed enemies. Now, like the other weapons, Double Saber got 4 photon arts. First is Weapon Action, which is your parry. Second is Julian Dance. It starts out with a dash and slash, then finishes off with a flurry of Double Saber attacks. This is gonna be your main attack because of its damage. Third is Unchained Circle. It starts out with an area attack around you, then finishes off with a slash. This is a decent area attack to use on PSE burst. Then fourth skill is Quick Gash. It starts out with slashes, then followed by a small tornado that lasts for a few seconds. It's great to keep your whirlwind advancing. Overall, Double Saber is a great weapon that can deal insane amount of skill damage with decent countering ability. And those are the weapons. Now here is my fighter skill tree if you like using all weapons like me. And here is the specific skill trees for each weapon. Just pause if you wanna see them. subclass time. At the moment, July 1, 2021. If you're gonna ask me, I'd choose Force, because PP is a big problem with fighters, because Force will help greatly, plus it will give elemental attacks and range. Another option is Gunner. Aside from it gives you range, it also helps you with PP recovery while attacking enemies. But if you wanna play a bit more safer, you can go with Hunter for survivability, and also knockdown and launches immunity. And that's my fighter guide. I hope this helps. If there's anything else, just ask in the comments. And I'm sure there's somebody in the comments there that's a fighter main. And if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, share, and then subscribe to be part of the Gaming Hardcore family. And as always, this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.